Hi, hello, how are ya? Let's get ready to meal prep. We are going to make homemade chicken patties, and I'm going to use maybe a quarter of the pack. It's a 3-pound pack of ground chicken, so I'm going to use about a quarter of it, and I'm going to make little tiny chicken meatballs because I'm going to throw them in the freezer, flash freeze the chicken patties and the meatballs so I can make Italian wedding soup sometime this fall. And the chicken patties are just so good and so handy to just have in the freezer. So let's get started. Okay, so we have our ground chicken in a bowl. We are going to add a little plethora of seasonings. We have breadcrumbs. These are plain. I prefer Italian style, but I don't have them. So we're just going to use plain and just throw a few more seasonings in. Have a complete seasoning. Use a little chicken bouillon, a little onion powder. A little butter onion. A little onion butter rather. Sheesh. Garlicky, buttery herb, salt, pepper, then the usual garlic, onion, parsley. We got 2 eggs, and then in here I have grated Parmesan. I know it seems like a lot of seasoning, but we're just going to be using a little of each of them. I feel like the seasonings stack well with each other. A little sprinkling of salt, some shakes of pepper. Now remember, this is 3 pounds of ground chicken, so you'll want to add plenty of seasoning to mix through all of it so every bite is flavorful and not just every few bites. I guess I could start using a measuring spoon and telling you how much seasonings to use. Let me go grab that. Most common is the tablespoon and teaspoon. So I think we will use those. So actually, I think for the most part, everything is going to be 1 teaspoon. So it's about a teaspoon of onion powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of buttery garlic herb, and you can use whatever kind of seasonings you like. If you want rosemary, if you want thyme, poultry seasoning, if you just want a little salt and pepper. If you don't like any of these seasonings, leave them out. If you want different ones, go ahead and use them. These are just seasonings that I prefer. I'm going to use a heaping teaspoon of chicken bouillon. Because the good thing about these seasonings, as they heat up and mix with the egg and whatnot, they'll melt and marry into each other and disperse throughout the meat. You're not going to get a clump of seasoning. Teaspoon of complete seasoning. Teaspoon of parsley. Actually, I'm going to do 2. Teaspoon-ish of garlic powder. Teaspoon-ish of onion powder. 2 eggs. Half a cup of Parmesan cheese, finely grated. If you want to use a shaky cheese, you can. Half cup of breadcrumbs. I think also what I'm going to do is sprinkle in a little avocado oil. You can use olive oil. You can use regular oil. You can use butter. You don't even have to do this. I just feel like last time they felt like they were a little dry. So I just want to add a little bit of oil so it moistens the inside of the mix. So when they cook, it'll be a little moister. Is moister even a word? it'll be more moist. More moist? Well, you get the point. Now for this step, it's totally up to you, totally your own preference. You can wear a glove and use your hand. You can use kind of a flat spatula spoon and press it in and mix it up. Or you can do like I do it and raw dog it. With clean hands, of course. You want to try not to overmix it, but you want to make sure that all the seasoning is evenly distributed throughout the whole thing. Now I feel like my chicken is still a little wet. It's a little too moist. It's too sticky. It won't form into balls very well. So I am going to add about another half a cup of breadcrumbs. Now what I find easier is I use a little spray and I use a cookie scoop, an ice cream scoop. You can really do any size you want. I found that this size, more like a cookie scoop, is a good size for making the little chicken burger sliders. You can just use your hands and use a ball however big you want it. You can use a teaspoon, which I think is what I'm going to do, or maybe a tablespoon to make my little mini meatballs. And your cookie sheet or your sheet pan. Give it a little light to make sure that they don't stick. And then when you flash freeze them, it's easy to just take a spatula and pop them off. And I squirt my cookie scoop, and then when I get to rolling, I will spray my hands as well. You just pop them out. I'll go ahead and make all of them, and then I'll go through and shape them. I try to leave a little bit of room in between them because I'm also going to be flattening them out slightly. So I want to have plenty of room to do that. And I know it seems like a lot of work, and why would you want to do this when you could just buy it? Which is true. It's a perfectly fine thing to do. But you'll find if you just take just a little couple hours, one day, you'll have meal prepped and you'll have a freezer, depending on how big your family is, you will have plenty. You'll have several dinners. You'll have several days, weeks, months of homemade, ready to go meals. And even if you freeze them like this, you make little chicken patties that are naked like this, you can, and freeze them, you can still turn them into different things. You can bread them and make the chicken parm, like the little chicken parm sliders. You can unthaw them and stick it all together, put it in a loaf pan and make a chicken meatloaf. You can thaw them out and break them into little pieces and make little tiny meatballs. You can unthaw them and just smash them all together and have a seasoned ground chicken meat. You can make chicken tacos, chicken spaghetti, chicken chili, anything you want, any kind of ground meat you can use this for. So doing this, taking a couple hours, well, not even a couple hours. So taking a little time, one day, you'll have meal prepped and your future you will thank you. For those nights you got to run out for a baseball game, basketball game, football game, cheerleading, you work late, you don't feel good, whatever the reason, you can pop them out. Pop them out however many you want. Fry them up. They don't take very long to cook at all. You can cook them from frozen. You can thaw them. The possibilities are truly endless. And if you know me, you know I love chicken. So I try to find several different ways to use several different kinds of chicken. On second thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the rest of this and make more balls so I can make them into little chicken patty sliders. because it will give me 2 meals, and then I can have one meal breaded and make them the breaded chicken burger, or I can have the naked ones and just have grilled chicken burgers. And then I'll get another 3-pound package from Sam's Club, and I will make the mini chicken meatballs. And then also, I think what I'm going to do is basically make these again, but I'm going to form them into a longer patty so I can get like the hoagie rolls and make the homemade Burger King chicken sandwiches, because those are my favorite. No chicken left behind. Okay, so what I do is I get a glass, flat bottom, round top, and I give the bottom a little spray, and I flatten each one. Last time, my family said they were a little thick, so I guess they want more of a smash burger type, but we'll have to see. I'm going to experiment on here because I don't think if you get them too big, my whole idea of how I do it is flatten them. I put my cup around it, spin it around, poof, perfect little patty. So I think I'm just going to continue to do the way I do it. Now that I made this video, they can watch it. They can make their own however they want. You know what I think happened? I think I used a bigger scoop this time. I'm going to check. Yeah, I did. This one is just slightly bigger than this one. I don't know if you can see the difference, but that's why they're not doing as smooth as they did last time. But they'll still work. And you know what? Now I know. Next time, I will use my silver handled cookie scoop and not the black one. But if I want larger ones, I'll use a black one. I probably won't even use a cookie scoop when I make the copycat Burger King chicken burgers or chicken sandwich. So I'm going to finish the rest of these. The same process. Flatten and shape. Then I'll show you the finished product when they're all done. I like to go through and just smash them all, then shape them all, and then I can go back through with my fingers and give them a little shape or a little flatten, kind of perfect it a little bit. It just goes so much faster. And they don't have to be perfect unless you want them to be perfect, and then you can spend a little bit more time on them. So I'm going to pop all of these into the deep freeze and freeze them for several hours, and then I'll come back and show you the process of popping them off and putting them in a baggie. I'm going to put them all in one, probably 1-gallon freezer Ziploc bag, and then that way I can just take them out as I need them. We got 30 homemade chicken patties ready for the freezer. Look at us, we meal prepped. Remember my chicken Alfredo stuffed shells video? I made 2 pans. We ate 1 pan and I froze the other. Emergency freezer meal on deck. And that's a wrap on today's meal prep. Thanks for prepping with me. Love ya.